Seconds with me.
Welcome, and thank you for dropping by. If this is your first time joining us, on Weird Awakenings we discuss anomalous phenomena the strange, the curious, the extraordinary, the bizarre. Throw in the occasional conspiracy theory, and you get us Cecil, Hadley, Stephen, Tully, and myself, Morgana, just a few of the Weird Kids. Weird Awakenings is a part of the Weird Realities Network. Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe to our channels. We can be found at linktree/Weird Realities. That's weird with a Y. Okay, gang, grab those tinfoil hats and let's get weird.
So wrong intro. But hey.
Oh, sorry, it's not Weird Realities.
Yeah, I don't think for those of you guys who watch this, we're none of the three of us are technologically savvy when it comes to social media, and StreamYard falls into that category. So you get what you get. And we're just gonna do movies and shit. Yeah. So there we go.
That's it.
And this week we have hey Alan, take it away.
Hey,
what are we doing this week?
Hey Tony. Hey, so tonight we're doing man, we were all young in the 80s. All these sword and sorcery movies are great back then. And for the sword part, the sorcery part, and the everything that comes with that. And you know what I mean. Yeah. Some had more, some had less. Some had more, were just bad. Some had less, that were really good. But tonight we're highlighting three of the bigger ones: Conan, Red Sonja, and the Beastmaster. And I'm sure all of you out there have them. Yeah, we're tech-tarded, Craig. We are, the three of us. You know, we could build a box, but I don't think we can figure this out. So all of us picked a movie. Hadley, I guess, is not joining us tonight. She said she might. She had better things to do tonight, but she said she was going to try to be here, which I don't know what better things are. Well, I know one.
Better things, or was she have to work late?
She had work late. She had.
She was tired of herding cats.
Work stuff. Yeah. She had work stuff going on. So, what do you guys got to say?
Scott, anything?
Not much. I'm having a like a mixed week at school. Some of the classes I'm loving. Some of the others make me want to go on a shooting spree. You can see them in the background there. But other than that, I'm just looking forward. We got a 3-day weekend coming up.
You do?
Yes, Martin Luther King Day.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
I'm not that lucky. I don't get that one off. So.
That is right. That is
How about
right.
you, Alan? What do you got going
on? Nothing. Work. That's it. Just work. Trying to stay warm.
I know, huh? What's the temperature?
Are you out in the water? Huh?
No, I won't go back out until February.
Okay.
So
is that a better time?
It's not gonna be a lot warmer, but it'll be warmer. And we're taking water samples, so we're getting wet. We're getting seawater on us, so it's freaking cold. But that's I don't know if I'm gonna go. I haven't been approached about it yet, but I usually do. So we'll see. Hopefully, I do enjoy it. I like going out on the boat, but not. There's two surveys. One is in April and one is in October, and that's when the seasons are kind of changing, and that's when it gets really rough and snotty, and it's just nobody likes going on those ones. And you got to focus. You're bent over like this a lot, so it's tough. But
Scott, that probably didn't bother Scott if you're bent over a lot. It probably.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, he's got photographs.
I'm distracted.
There was some blackmail. True.
But now, what was the weather? When I went out this morning, it was 9 degrees.
Oh.
It was 11 here. So
okay, so you had a heat wave.
26 now.
Well, it was like in the high 20s when I went out today.
Yeah.
It's been a unseasonably warm winter out here, in Nevada. We're hoping to get snowfall later on just for the water table, But we get our water from Truckee, and it's got snowpack up there right now, but we don't get it from the Hoover Dam, thank God. Vegas gets it from Hoover Dam, and
now you're in the high desert, in that
right? Situation, huh?
Is that where you are? Is high desert?
Yeah, high desert. We got the Sierras right there, hour away at the most,
Yeah, that's
So
nice.
Linda,
it's
Tony,
nice area.
Craig, and Max are here.
All right. Well, I guess we should start then, huh? Since we got the gangs all here. Rich, do you want to start with Conan? Since that's
I can start with
the
Conan.
anchor of this show.
Right. So, excuse me. Robert E. Howard was the writer I read the most of when I was young.
Yeah.
I loved the Conan stories, and I read them all. John Milius and Oliver Stone decided to take matters into their own hands and write a screenplay about how Conan came to be who he was and several of his adventures. They used poetic license, and the screenplay is quite different than the books concerning Conan's origins. But hey, I like what they did. Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, James Earl Jones, Sandahl Bergman, Mako, and Jerry Lopez, with smaller parts played by Max von Sydow, William Smith, and Ben Davidson. This film also started the acting careers of every bodybuilder from the 70s and 80s. All the big dudes, the big muscle people were in it, men and women. The film was produced by Dino De Laurentiis and his daughter Raffaella, and was distributed by both Universal and 20th Century Fox. Initially, the film received mixed reviews, with negative reviews sprouting up because of the extreme violence and gore. The film made about $75 million versus a budget of $20 million, so it was a commercial success. Although Howard's writing was anything but typical, 1982's Conan the Barbarian was a typical sword and sorcery flick. The plot is pretty standard, with the barbarian hero needing to go on a quest against a powerful wizard, in this case for revenge. Along the way, he gathers companions, and together they battle the wizard and his weightlifting minions. I've tried to stay away from too much plot with my reviews lately, so if that bugs the peanut gallery and they want the plot, then let me know. James Earl Jones, coming off a Darth Vader high, continued his villainy as Thulsa Doom, the evil sorcerer. But if you've read the Howard books, you'd remember that Conan's evil wizard nemesis was actually Thoth Amon, and Thulsa Doom was kind of a punk from another of Howard's books called Kull. I don't know if you guys read Kull of Atlantis, Kull the Conqueror. That was also Robert Howard. In addition, Howard's Conan was extremely intelligent and educated, and Valeria, played by Bergman, was a minor character in comparison to Conan's true love, the she-pirate Belinda. Schwarzenegger and Bergman work well together in the film, but my favorite character is Subutai, thief and archer, played by professional surfer Jerry Lopez, also known as Mr. Pipeline. He and several of the other people that were in this film, specifically Schwarzenegger and Bergman, were not famous before they came to this. This kind of started their careers. This is a film that really put Arnold on the map. So he went from barbarian to king to governor of California. I absolutely love this movie, and it was one of only two that I saw as a kid and went right back into the theater and saw it the same day. The other was The Dark Crystal. I really like The Dark Crystal. One of my favorite movies. Yeah. What did you guys think? Did you guys like this movie, or did it not hold up for you? I absolutely love it, and I thought it was great.
Scott?
I was never a fan of sword and sorcery movies. I started watching this when it first came out on HBO and just got bored with it. And honestly, I've never seen the whole movie until this week. It's good. It's fun. I was hard to follow the plot because it was just sort of like, all right, let's do this little quest. Hey, let's now go do this little quest. The action was great. Maybe for the 1980s, the violence was over the top. Now it's just sort of like, it's just like play acting, in a high school drama club. And yes, it put Schwarzenegger on the map. A lot of people, yes. My back audience there. James Earl Jones was great. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of sword and sorcery movies. I like this one. It was fun, but I don't know if I'll watch it again. Fred.
Well, I saw this one when I was 19. And like you, Rich, I love Conan books, Tarzan, John Carter of Mars, all those. So when this came out, I was really excited. And Arnold's a perfect guy to play. Perfect guy to play Conan. He's right off the cover of one of those books.
Yeah.
It was good. It was entertaining. I didn't know that Oliver Stone wrote some of the screenplay with Milius. I didn't know that until I watched it again this time. And Milius, man, that dude was a man's man movie, director, writer, Red Dawn. He did some other things with Stone.
Dirty Harry.
Yeah. It's a great flick. It's a lot of fun. But I tell you, my favorite's got to be Sword and the Sword and the Sorcerer. Where Lee Horsley's got the sword that's got like 3 swords on it.
Yeah.
And they fire. He can fire on the cross. Yeah. I mean, that's got to be my favorite because it's campy, but it's fun. It's got a lot of little sexy to it, But this one's great. It's Santo Bergman. I thought she played great in this. She's not the best actress, but she did a good job in it. The snake sorceress, that part was really cool. Of course, he's got Franco Columbo and Sven Ole Thorson in it, his buddies that he drags along in every, movie he can, which I would too if, I had that much power making movies. I enjoyed it. Craig, I think, said it had a killer soundtrack, and it did.
Yeah.
It had a great soundtrack. Was just, it set the mood.
Basil Polidorus.
Yeah.
Basil Polidorus is the guy's name.
And he did a lot. Basil Polidorus did a lot of great soundtracks.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this, not as much as when I was a teen, but I enjoyed it. It's solid. It's like the godfather of sword and sorcery movies, really.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one that brought the most attention, I think, to these movies. Conan 2 kind of sucked. There's a lot of movies that were knockoffs that were just kind of like skin flicks and with a little bit of sword fighting in it. This one's enjoyable. If you have not seen it, watch it. It's got a great cast. Mako was always great to see him in movies, from Chuck Norris to this, So what do you guys give this, Quick?
Scott?
Come back to me on this one. Let me think this one through for a minute.
I'm
gonna give it a 4. Solid 4.
Nice. I'm gonna do something I don't usually do, and I'm just gonna reach out there and give this one a 5. And a lot of it is for nostalgia, because this used to be one of my top 10 favorite movies, top 5, right. Top 3 even. It was great, and I mean it slipped a little because it's dated. But I really do enjoy it. And I honestly, when I saw it was coming up, I was like, oh, I can't wait to see it. I haven't seen it in a few years. And it was worth it. It's not what it was when I was a kid. Because like you said, Scott, the violence today is just, it's like a Tuesday for this thing. But back then, this was a bloody mess. So I'm going to give it a solid 5.
I'm probably going to give it, now, if I'm going on, do I like it? I'd probably give it a 3. But for what it is, for the adventure, for the sword and sorcery, I think I'd give it a 4.5.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, it was a lot different when you first saw it than it is now, in a way.
Yeah.
Especially if you read the books and you're like just, wow, and like I said, I mean, Arnold looked like he just stepped off the cover of one of those Robert E. Howard books. Is it Boris Vallejo? Is that the one that did all the all those? Yeah, he looked like a Vallejo friggin' cover, But
there's another guy, his name was Frank. He was a graphic artist.
Oh, Frank Frazetta. Frank Frazetta. Yeah, he looked like those guys just had awesome artwork. Just captured the spirit of it. So. Well, we all thought highly of this movie. We still do.
Yeah. I just wish I'd seen it when it first came out, so I could have enjoyed it as a high school or college student.
Oh yeah, that's the best way to to see it, especially if, like like we talked about, we read the books, and you're like, oh, okay, this is Conan.
I was 14 years old when this came out. You old sons of bitches. 14 years
I
old.
was 19.
And I remember I went with my friend Chris, and we walked into it was like a 1 o'clock matinee. We walked in, and then when we were coming out, I was like, damn, we both loved it. We were like, we looked around and we snuck right back in and we watched it again. So it was only one of 2 movies that I ever did that with. So that should say something. And I still love that movie.
No. Well, it's the perfect sword and sorcery movie. It really is.
Yes.
It's a tent pole of those movies.
Now, did they make many sword and sorcery movies before Conan?
Oh yeah, they had some. They just weren't as big.
Yeah, there was no budget. This was for the time. It was a $20 million budget, so it was huge. And I guess when Milius was trying to get it done, he went to a few studios, and their pitch was for $2.5 million. Excuse me, and they couldn't sell it. And I think it was Universal that said, if you can get a big name writer to get in on it, then we'll do it. And so Milius pitched it to Stone, and Stone was like, yeah, all right, what the hell, I'll do it. And they did it, and they got their money, because when they had written it, when it was done, when the screenplay was written, it was going to be a $40 million movie, and everybody was like, no, cut it in half. So they ended up spending $20 million on it, but they got, the big 3 stars, the 3 of the core group. Nobody knew who they were. You had a surfer, a dancer, and a weightlifter. None of them were real actors. Each of them had been in small parts before, but none of them were famous. And so this catapulted, 2 of the 3 of them to fame. Excuse me. I mean, Jerry Lopez was a journalist. He was a pro surfer, and the only acting he had ever done was on a movie about him, about his surfing. So, that Jerry Lopez played Subutai. So it was it did some work, this movie. And I mean, all those freaking weapons that they made for this, like the cool looking axes and weird diamond shaped swords and stuff. And then they had that one of the big draws for this was the wizard, Thulsa Doom, and he's played by James Earl Jones, of course, the most famous actor in the well, maybe Max von Sydow, but still James Earl Jones, just coming off 1977 Star Wars, so Darth Vader, right? And I think when did Empire come out? Was that 81 or 82? Empire.
I think it was 82. I think.
So this came out in 82 as well.
Let me look.
But yeah, there you go. I mean, there was it catapulted a lot of people.
Yeah.
Sandal Bergman,
and it made a lot of
exploded, but she had some good acting parts.
Believe it or not, Empire Strike Back came out in the 80s. 1980.
1980?
1980. Whoa.
Yeah, no, I knew it was younger than that because I went with a girl I was trying to date because I didn't like Star Wars, but she wanted to go see it. So me and her brothers went to see it. We walked into Boston, and I remember she was still here. She went out to Utah to college in 1981, so it had to have been at least 80.
Yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow, dear. I might die. Let's go see the Empire and then get it on. I had something that I was concocting, and I said that stupid thing. Yeah, this movie is just was huge. It wasn't Star Wars huge, of course.
No,
but for what it was huge. Sandal Bergman, she made a lot of 80s, 90s, early 90s B movies, and she's still alive today, but she never really, but she made a decent living, I'm sure, in those movies,
Yeah, well, she was a dancer. So they, like I said, they pulled, a bodybuilder, a dancer, and a surfer to play these people, and they killed it. They did a really good job. They're not going to win any awards for acting, but they did great. For this type of thing, right. And it was geared toward nerds, for us. So
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So much DNA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, do you want to go with Beastmaster, or should we do Red Sun?
No, let's go in order. Beastmaster. 1980. Hang on a second. Let me double check it. 1982, I believe. Yeah, 1982. It was written and directed by Don Coscarelli. And he's got some great stuff to his name. I mean, he's got the Phantasm series, Bubba Hotep, John dies at the end. I mean, he's known for making some really good stereotypical movies. This one deals with, and again, it's the sword and sorcery plot. I'm taking this from IMDb. Mark Singer, is the son of a king who was hunted down by a priest after his birth, who wants to get rid of the line, but his new adoptive father rescues him from the cult ritual, takes him to be raised in a humble village. When the king comes and wipes out the village, Da decides he's going to get revenge. And along the way, he has the ability to talk to animals, which is what I loved about this movie. My favorite characters were the two ferrets. I just thought it was good. But he picks up a lot of people along the way. Tanya Roberts, who plays his sort of girlfriend Kiri. Seth Amos is in it as John Amos is in it as Seth. And through the whole movie, I'm sitting there like, I know the bad guy. I know the bad guy. It wasn't until those credits I realized it was Rip Torn.
Yeah. It was the Schnoz. They put a fake nose on him.
Who did a great job. It's a fun movie. It's got a lot of tongue-in-cheek in it because he's got the two ferrets that help him. Like the scene when the ferrets steal the keys and try to get him to him so they can get out is hilarious. He's got a Black Panther and he's got a huge hawk that are all on his side.
Huge what?
Hawk. Not a tour, a hawk. It's a fun movie. I
just wanted you to say huge hawk again. That's all.
It's a fun movie. I enjoyed it. It's got the sword and sorcery stuff to it. There's some good action with it. I think Rip Torn did a great job as the bad guy. Of course, there's some TNA in it, but what do you expect? I wasn't like really thrilled with Conan. I love this movie. I really enjoyed watching this one. It's not a great movie, like Rich said. This one's never going to win any awards, but I liked it. And like I said, just having the animals on his side when he uses the panther to try to scare Tanya Roberts into staying close to him. It was a fun one.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. What do you think, Rich?
So this was another one of my favorites as a kid. My brother and I both really loved this movie, and it was for the same reason that you did, Scott. Tanya Roberts, of course. Well, I mean the animals. It was all about the animals. The tiger and the eagle and the ferrets they were phenomenal. Yeah. I guess the tiger got sick because they painted it. They just dumped black paint on it, so it ended up getting sick. There was like 2 or 3 tigers, I think, and one of them was very, very sick. But it was really well done. That little thing that he that he would throw and do his caper or whatever it was called.
Oh yeah,
that was novel and cool. It was good, but the whole sell of this movie was him talking to the animals. Yeah. And the sword and sorcery part of it, the witches, with the ugly faces and the smoking hot bodies, that was pretty cool. I like the way that they put him inside the cow before they were going to cut him out and brand him and kill him. That was really cool. That scene was excellent. But this one, it was one of my favorites as a kid, but I don't think it held up. It didn't put me where I wanted it to put me this time, although Tanya Roberts was absolutely beautiful. I had forgotten how beautiful she was.
Yeah.
She was, and she did okay. She wasn't the best actress in the world.
No.
But I thought Mark Singer did well. Rip Torn was a great bad guy. He was a fantastic bad guy. And I like the green-eyed dudes with the spikes on their arms. I thought that was cool too. I can't remember what they called them. But John Amos, fantastic. He was a big dude. I didn't know he was, ripped like that. I had forgotten how big he was, strong man. And Mark Singer was cut too. He definitely lifted for that role. But overall, I'm not going to say I was disappointed. I wasn't disappointed, but it just didn't hold up like Conan did for me. But it wasn't bad. It's a movie I may watch again in another decade or so, but like I said, it didn't hold up as well as it did when I was a kid. But I'm not shitting on it either. What do you think, Alan?
Well, you're right. I agree with you. It doesn't hold up. It was fun when I went and saw it at the theater. Tanya Roberts, she had come from Charlie's Angels, and it's sad because she died of sepsis not too long ago from a urinary tract infection that she didn't take care of. And that's too bad. She's on the 70s show too. That was great. Anyway,
yeah.
And Mark Singer, he should have been a bigger actor, I think. He was an okay actor, but he should have been, in more things, I think. I think Go Tell the Spartans, he was in that. He did pretty good in that. That's a good Vietnam War flick if you ever see it. Not a lot happens in it, but it's a really good movie. Burt Lancaster and the dude from the Boys and Company. So anyway, I'm off track here. Rip Torn, if you can dodge a ferret, you can dodge a wrench. Yeah, I love that. Rip Torn was great. He was a underrated actor, Too bad his alcoholism got the best of him, and he allegedly robbed banks and all kinds of weird stuff in the end of his career. This was fun. John Amos is good to see him. In the animal part, you're right, was pretty cool, but that's not why back then we went and saw that. But I definitely thought back then, because I can't see now, because I saw it the other day and it was just cheese. It was just cheese. The back then me would say, hey, you got to go see this, because all my buddies, we all went and saw it. Hey, yeah, Beast, cool. And then Beastmaster 2 came out. Oh, have you guys seen Beastmaster 2?
No.
Horrible.
I'm not surprised.
Just horrible. I think it was direct. I don't know if it's direct to video or what, but it's bad. It is really bad.
They had a TV series, a Beastmaster TV series.
Oh yeah, Beastmaster.
Yeah,
that's right.
And it didn't suck. It was one of those. A couple seasons, maybe 2 or 3 seasons. It was like a Sunday morning type of thing. You wake up hungover Sunday morning, you just sit on the couch and just watch the Beastmaster, that type of thing.
Yeah, I never got into it. I saw that it was on, but it was, this one it didn't hold up. It doesn't hold up. It's looks really cheap compared to when you saw it on the big screen. I'm not trying to crap on this movie, because when it came out, I dug it. I think I saw it twice. Not went back in, but saw it down the road again. So it's okay. It's not one of my favorites. It's down there.
It did well
back then. It probably would have been.
They made it for. Can't find my mouth. They made it for $8 million. It made $3 million on the opening weekend, and gross worldwide, it made $14 million. So,
yeah, there's some good parts in it, but it just not one of my favorites. Sword and Sorcerer. I tell you, the Sword and the Sorcerer. You gotta watch that one. That's great. It is so campy. It doesn't take itself seriously. And it's a lot of fun to watch. Who wouldn't want a sword that has 3 blades that you can shoot at the bad guy? Come on,
Well, don't tell that.
You don't have to do as much cardio. Well, you don't have to do as much cardio. You just you know, you don't have to do all the swinging. You just, and that's it. Get out on your horse. So you guys got anything else about this one?
No.
No, it was fun to watch. This one,
it's fun, Scott. I sound like I'm probably crapping all over the movie.
No, you're not. You're not.
See, I like it.
If I watch it again, it'll be for the ferrets. So they were good at it.
Nowadays it'd be a good kids movie, you know. Yeah, Sword and Sorcery is terrible, Max, but it's terrible good.
Well, Sword and Sorcery is like those old Italian sword and sandal movies.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they were all the same thing, but they were fun to watch.
Yeah, well, you know, Sinbad was kind of like a Sword and Sorcery movie. The old Harryhausen ones and stuff. Those were
great. Yeah.
Huh?
They were great. Seventh Voyage and
the Tiger. Which is the one where he has the fight with all the skeletons?
Is it the Seventh Voyage?
Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. Yeah.
I mean, you can't do the only movie that ever came close to doing that was The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. Mm-hmm. And also the Seventh Voyage had Carolyn Monroe. So
Tony I says Kroll was interesting with the starfish boomerang. Yeah, that was not bad. It's got Liam Neeson's in it. It's got the Liam Neeson's in it when he was pretty young, right? I believe.
I gotta rewatch that one.
It's like
decent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's like the Seven Samurai or whatever kind of type concept, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. You know, it just I don't think it gets as much praise as it should. You know. Jason and the Argonauts, that's a good one too. Clash of the Titans. Yeah. I mean, a whole bunch.
Excalibur, Clash of the Titans.
Clash of the Titans, the original. I didn't like the new one that much.
It was okay. I mean, you know, the actors were good in it.
Excuse me. I like the old Harryhausen stuff. I really do.
Yeah.
The Sinbad stuff, Clash of the Titans. It's just great.
Oh yeah.
I just recently
I remember being a kid.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Rich.
I just recently saw the excuse me. They sold the full body Medusa. They had made one. Mm-hmm. It was full size. It was like 6 feet tall, and they sold it for like $250,000.
Holy crap!
Yeah. I don't know
what was it made of. You know,
used in the movie or not, but it looked just like it. I would imagine the movie ones were probably this big, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But that one, there was a guy standing with his arm around it, and they sold it for $250,000.
Oh, man, that'd be cool to have in your yard or something, you know.
Yeah, right.
Or you open your front door and there it's Medusa right there. That'd be cool. Well, let's hit Red Sonja then.
Oh, we gotta rate this?
Yeah, let's rate it.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
All right, Scott.
I'm gonna give it a 3.75.
Nice. I'll give it a 3. I like the animals. I had 2 ferrets 20 years ago, so
yeah. Give it a 3. I'll give it a 3. You know, at the time it was really enjoyable, and I think it's kind of a good kids movie in a way. You know. You know those witches? That witch that got thrown, the last witch that got killed by the guy that, you know, takes in Dar?
Yeah.
That was Janet Jones. She was in The Flamingo Kid and American Anthem and married to Wayne Gretzky.
Huh.
Yeah. So just a little trivia there. I found it here. Doc gave it a 3.2. Right on, Doc. Singer was sexy and the animals were great. There we go. There we go. That should have been the tagline. Singer is sexy and the animals are great. Okay. Red Sonja, 1985. Boy, they waited a while to make this one. I always thought Red Sonja was a Conan character, but she's not. She's a character that Howard wrote, but not in the Conan universe.
Nope.
So this was something that came along in the comics. In the Conan comics, they created Red Sonja. So I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. So the plot of this is the fearless warrior Red Sonja sets out to avenge her family's murder and rid the kingdom from the tyrannical rule of the evil queen Gedrin and destroy the talisman that she's using to wipe out the other kingdoms and enslave everybody. And also, Queen Gedrin, she's got a thing for Red Sonja. You know, it shows when she's getting attacked and everything that the queen wanted her for herself for her own nefarious reasons. And Red Sonja's like, I'm not having any of that. So she ends up, like they always do, they find a sword master that takes them under their wing and trains them. And now she's a master swordswoman. And she's setting out for revenge on Queen Gedrin, who's played by Sandal Bergman, who played Valeria in Conan. And she gets help from a swordsman named Calidor, who is Arnold Schwarzenegger, who played Conan. She also runs into a little dethroned prince, Prince Tarn, played by Ernie Reyes Jr., who's he's a martial artist and he's a stuntman nowadays, big time stuntman, actor, Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all kinds of stuff. She's still in Hollywood. His dad was a stuntman before that. If you've seen some martial, huh?
Was he Short Round
No.
from?
No. So this movie is unique, and it's got 3 of the key villains from Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
It's got the SS guy that gets his hand burned. It's got the big ass mechanic that gets chopped up in the blades, and it's got the sword wielding, dude that he takes out. Bam, It's all 3 of those guys play bad guys in this. Yeah, kind of cool. And it's got his buddy Sven Thorson in it, playing one of the bad guys too. Come on, Sven, I'm making a movie. This movie, he was only supposed to do it as a cameo, and be there 2 weeks. Dino De Laurentiis, he felt he owed him for Conan, so he went and did this for Dino. And Dino's like, "No, you can't leave." He kept him there for a month, and his role was expanded because nobody knew who Bridget Nielsen was. They're like, "Who's Bridget Nielsen?" So they wanted his name in there, and they paid him $250,000 for this, and he made $1.5 million for Commando. Commando was, just come. So he hated this. He hated this movie. He signed a blank contract when he first signed on to the movie because he trusted Dino De Laurentiis, and they screwed him on it. They're trying to get him into a 3-picture deal, and he's like, "No, I'm going to sue you." And he was able to sue him, but he had to make the movie Raw Deal, which Raw Deal's not a bad movie. It's okay, but he had to make Raw Deal for him. So he got out of this 3-picture deal. I think it was like a 10-year thing. He hates this movie. He threatens his kids with making them watch it. That's how much he hates it. Maria Shriver, when the movie opened, she told Arnold that, well, this is the worst movie you've ever made, so you probably will never have another flop this bad. So don't worry about it. And in the 80s, she was right. He didn't have a movie that flopped this hard. They made it for $17 million, and it made 7. It's not a good movie. The acting in it's bad. Ron won some Raspberry Awards for the acting in it. The acting is not good in it. Sandra Bergman, she's not good in it. Bridget Nielsen's not good in it. Arnold's not good in it. Ernie Reyes, nobody's good in it. Even the bad German guy from Indiana Jones is not good in it. It's just not. It's got some cool things, like when they're crossing the dinosaur bridge, the dinosaur bone bridge. That looks cool. And the machine monster in the water, you could tell they spent some money on that. But it's just, there's nothing refreshing in this. The action in it is dull. I had never seen this movie when it came out. This is the first time I saw it. And I thought it might be a little different movie, but it's not. There's nothing. I didn't like this movie. I thought it was boring. Yeah. What I got out of watching it is Bridget Nielsen and Arnold had an affair during this, which makes him and Stallone Eskimo brothers. Just not a good movie. Craig says Bridget Nielsen gave him a chubby in this movie. What you need to do, Craig, is get you this big ass clock, wear it around your neck, and wear your hat backwards. Anyway, so what do you guys think? Now that I shit all over this movie.
Go ahead, Scott.
I only had one problem with this movie. It was made. I mean, this movie was horrible. Everything you said about the acting and that. But, okay, why did they have to start out with, they started out with her having a tit shot and being raped, and then she's Red Sonja. She's the macho girl who teams up with Conan. Schwarzenegger. And throughout the movie, he's saving her. So, okay, this isn't one of these, tough chick movies. This is a tough chick movie who still has to rely on the guy. And that little prince annoyed the hell out of me. Oh, yeah. I couldn't stand him. When I went into this, I was thinking this was going to be a sword and sorcery movie with a female lead, with a Ripley-like lead. And just bored me. I did not like it at all. I don't even remember. I watched it 2 nights ago, and I don't remember half of it.
Oh, Scott, just hold on a second. You mentioned Ripley-like lead. Sigourney Weaver was considered for the Red Sonja part.
Thank God she didn't take it.
You read that everywhere,
Yeah.
De Niro's part. Sigourney Weaver was.
But you wonder if she had done the role, if it would have been a much better movie.
Yeah, her part would be better, and everybody probably have to act up to that, maybe, huh?
Yeah, but I just don't see. So Bridget Nielsen was big. She was. I mean, she was just tall and like muscular and strong looking. Sigourney Weaver just wasn't. I mean, she was pretty, and she was athletic, but she wasn't the same body. She didn't look like the barbarian sword slayer person that Nielsen looked like. That said, Bridget Nielsen can't act her way out of a wet paper bag, and Sigourney Weaver is excellent. So it may have changed everything. You're right. So.
Yeah, I agree.
Me?
Are you done, Scott, or you got more?
Oh, I'm done. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, this sucked. I remember watching this. I couldn't wait for it to come out. I was like, "Oh man, Conan's in it. It's another Conan." It ended up not being Conan. His name was like Calidor or Calibor or something like that. Schwarzenegger, I mean, and. He couldn't even save this movie. It was just so bad. The special effects were just non-existent. They were just terrible. I did like the water creature for a while, and then it just got they dragged that out too long. That should have been over in like 5 minutes instead of the 15. But yeah, like the crazy queen there having that green talisman of doom. That can only be touched by women. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I didn't like this film. It's not a movie that I'll never watch this again. So it was slow. The dialogue was hard to track just because she's such she kind of yelled everything, and she was just bad. Bridget Nielsen. So I just I didn't like it. I won't watch it again. I'm not going to rate it high.
Yeah.
There are 1,000 other sword and sorcery movies that you could watch that are better than this one. Yeah, that's kind of all I got on it. Sorry, it was not my favorite.
Well, you know why he wasn't Conan, Rich? Because I thought he was Conan in this. Because even though it's a Robert E. Howard story and character, Red Sonja, they don't have the rights. They didn't have the rights.
That I didn't know.
Yeah. So they said, we'll make him Kalidor. And then people say, well, Kalidor is just another traveling name for Conan, when he was off on his adventures and blah, blah, blah. But it's, man, if I would have seen this at the movie, I would have walked out. It just, that kid annoyed. That kid was, she was bad. The kid was bad. Excuse me. Even the guy that played the kid's bodyguard was bad. And he's a decent actor. I've seen him in other stuff, but he was just horrible.
Who directed
David
this?
Hasselhoff, like Max said, couldn't save this movie. Or maybe he could. Maybe he could. I mean, eat a cheeseburger on the bridge. Yeah.
Who directed this one?
Was it De Laurentiis or was he just a producer on it? I'll tell you in a second. It could have been produced. It could have been directed by anybody. Yeah, that's how bad it is, It was directed by Richard Fleischer, which he's made a few movies. He made Soylent Green. Wow! Oh my gosh! 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
The one with Kirk Douglas.
I guess he needed some
Fantastic Voyage.
Yeah.
I guess everybody's got to have their.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Alan.
Their. Yeah. Of course, he also did the jazz. Okay.
We're talking over each other. I'm sorry, buddy.
Oh, go ahead.
Did you guys ever see a movie called The Rundown with Dwayne Johnson?
No.
Yeah.
So, I actually enjoy that movie. It's good. It's got Sean William Scott in it, Christopher Walken. It's okay. Gina Torres? Not Gina Torres. The one that looks like Gina Torres.
Yeah. What's her name? She's in every Marvel series.
Yeah, I can't remember her name. But she's actually a decent actress.
She wasn't in that though.
What's that?
She wasn't in that though. Tina and I were watching it, and her accent just drove Tina absolutely crazy.
Do you remember the fight scene where they were like jumping out of the trees and stuff? That ripped guy. That's Eddie Reyes. That's okay. Prince Tarn from Red Sonja. That's him as a grown guy. So he is a martial artist. He was doing capoeira very well. So I thought that I just looked him up. He's big time. I'd seen him as an adult.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that now. Now that you brought that, because I was looking. That guy looks familiar, but he's a big time stuntman in Hollywood for martial arts and stuff. Like I said, Ninja Turtles, and when he was younger. And he's not much taller though, but I wouldn't tell him that because put my head up my own ass probably if he ever found me in it. But yeah, it's a good movie. The Rundown. You should watch it, Scott. It's a throwaway action film. It's fun. Christopher Walken does a great job as bad guy.
I love Christopher Walken. I'll watch anything he's in.
He's the bad guy, and he plays it well.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And The Rock's not huge yet, So
sorry, Dad. I'm fine. I'm just a little tired and starting to zone out.
He wants to puke because of Red Sonja. That's why he wants to puke.
Oh, that's
it was hard to get through. I did finish it, but it was one of those movies where like the dogs wanted to go out, and I was like, "Fine, I'll go out with you." I know it's 3 below, but I'm still gonna go out with you because if I don't have to watch this damn thing, so it was hard to get through.
Yeah, I forgot most of it.
Yeah, I'd never seen it. I'd never seen it before, and I'd never heard anything good about it. I'd never heard anything bad. I just never heard anything about it.
Yeah.
And she wasn't like the comics. The comics kind of made that character one way. And she's 6'2" or something like that, right? She's pretty tall. But yeah,
they dressed her appropriately. She was attractive. They dressed her attractive. But why did they throw in Schwarzenegger? To be her sidekick.
Because he had the name. He had the name at that time. He was
Conan.
Yeah.
And they didn't think they could sell a movie with Bridget Nielsen. Who's Bridget Nielsen? And that was it. And his was supposed to be a cameo, and it was expanded out. So, and he was making good money at that time, and I think he got 250 for this one. So, yeah, which, I'd take 250. Yeah.
I could use.
So what are we gonna rate this one, guys?
Scott, you go for it.
1.
Yeah, I'll give it a 1.
I'll give it a 1. I give it a 1. Yeah.
Total of
Definitely.
3 for Red Sonja.
Yeah.
There were so many decent sword and sorcery movies from the 70s and the 80s and even into the 90s that anybody who hasn't seen Red Sonja, it's kind of a waste of your time. There's really no need to see it. If you want to go for the campy ones, one of the better campy ones, I mean, it's not a great movie, but it's a great movie, was the one Alan was talking about before, was The Sword and the Sorcerer.
Oh.
That one's just, that one's got Shelley Long in it, doesn't it? Doesn't it have Shelley Long in it?
Really?
If she's in it, I gotta look that one up. But it's got that one guy that played a bad guy in all the TV movies and stuff at that time.
The bald guy?
No, he was on Battlestar Galactica too.
Oh, the guy who played Baldar?
I'm trying to think of his name. Richard Lynch.
Oh yeah, Richard Lynch. I remember Richard Lynch.
Yeah, he used to be in freaking everything.
Richard, I gotta watch it. Richard Ball's in it. I gotta watch it.
Yeah. And you're talking about Conan. I forgot his dad. You mentioned his name, but his dad was William Smith.
Yeah.
That dude was a monster. Yeah. That dude, he always played bad guys in the 70s. And Clint Eastwood, him and Clint Eastwood brawled a lot in the 70s in movies. And
wasn't he a Rhodes Scholar?
Red Dawn. Huh?
I
don't know if he's a Rhodes Scholar, but he was in the military. I think he was in the Air Force. But he was a real smart guy. He was the Russian commander in Red Dawn in the original.
Yeah.
But I mean, he played a bad guy in hundreds of movies. Big dude.
Yeah. Like legit hundreds of movies. I'm looking at it now. In a Hollywood career spanning more than 79 years, he appeared in almost 300 feature films. Jeez. Holy crap.
Good
for you, buddy.
Yeah, I don't see Shelley Long in this.
No, I couldn't see her name on it.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Yeah.
I'm looking up William Smith now. Yeah. I don't know. I thought maybe it was a different movie I know she was in it though. Because I remember this.
The lead is Catherine Beller.
Maybe
that was the lead female in that.
No, because she was like it wasn't her. It was, I can't remember.
That's a fun cheese movie. Dragon Slayer was good. That was a Disney one, wasn't it? Was Dragon Slayer a Disney one, or
was
it was Dragon Slayer with the guy from No, yeah, never mind.
Peter McNichol, wasn't it? Wasn't it one of the McNichol?
Yeah, Peter McNichol. Yeah, I was thinking of the dude from Caddyshack, but yeah, this one had Peter McNichol in it. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a while. I just remember thinking the little dragons eating the woman. I was like, that didn't need to happen. He could have saved her. That was a really cool dragon for back in the day.
But then it wouldn't have a really cool dragon eating woman scene, I guess, or people scene or whatever, you know. Yeah.
I'll have to watch that now.
Yeah, Dragon Slayer is great. That's actually a really good flick. Something we can add on for a future watch.
Oh, the Rutger Hauer movie. It's got
Lady Hawk.
Thank you, Lady Hawk.
We did Lady Hawk on this show. We did it before.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Maybe it was before my time. Oh.
Yeah, we did Lady Hawk because that was Hadley's pick.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a decent flick. Oh man, it's snowing. Crap.
Oh, I hope we don't. Actually, I hope we do get it. If it's bad enough, they'll call school.
Nice.
We're supposed to get less than 2 inches, but it started. It wasn't.
That's what she said.
I was just gonna say that.
Oh boy.
Sorry, Scott. Go ahead, say it.
No, I was gonna say it differently. That's why she wouldn't go out with me again.
Oh man. Well, you guys got any? Hey, that book's doing. I guess the anthology's doing good, huh?
Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah,
you saw that. The minute it came out, it went #1 fiction anthologies.
So people still have a little mood for a little taste for zombies, huh?
Oh yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah, that was a good week for me because my book came out, was #1 on teen and young adult apocalypse fiction, and then about a week later, this one came out, and boom, it went up there. So
nice.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's great. When's yours coming out?
Mine.
Oh, Rich, when's your book in that series coming out?
Oh, not till July.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's July. So I had about 40,000 words written, and I threw that shit right in the trash. So I'm starting over. Oh. Yeah, I'm starting over. But I
hear.
I don't estimate it'll take too long to write. So.
Oh, okay. I've done that before. Trash 30,000 words, and it's like.
Yeah, I read through it, and I was like, this just sucks, and I threw it out. So I'm gonna start again.
It happens, especially if you want.
What about you? Are you in that? Are you doing that too?
Alan? No, I'm not. No. I'm trying to get out my sci-fi one. I've got 40,000 words into that one, something like that. I'm trying to get that one done. I just got to get back into the routine. I've been out of the routine.
Yeah, so. I write when I can. Unfortunately, it's not enough. So
yeah,
I think I wrote like 5,000 words this week. It's just that makes me sad. It just takes too long to pump stuff out. But, hey, I'm only 10 years away from retirement, so
nice.
Well, that's what I don't like about the job. I love the job, but I don't get to write much. Yeah. Friday on the way home, I stop at the cigar store. Try to fit in a few thousand words. Try to do some writing over the weekend.
Yeah, it's hard. I'm just gonna have to get up earlier and do my morning constitutional and then write and then do my morning constitutional, but I got to do that. I got to get it done. Hey, Doc says they're getting 8 inches tomorrow. Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that?
That was me, and that was terrible. Oh. I tried to post a clean link, but it failed. So click on that. That's that's Time of the Undead on Amazon.
Good night, Doc.
Good night, Doc. Thanks for coming.
Hey, yeah. Take it easy, Doc. Thank you for the shout out.
Nice having you here with us tonight, everybody. If you can, check out that anthology. It's got a lot of good stories in it, a lot of different stories in it. It's zombies through time up to right before World War I, right?
No story after World War I. And I did mine, the Confederates using zombies at Pickett's Charge.
I actually haven't read it. I want to read that. I want to read yours too. I haven't read any of the stories in there, so I want to do that.
I haven't either. I mean, I need to.
Yeah.
I need to.
I've got it on Kindle. I want the print edition when it comes out too.
Yeah, that's that's the best. If I get a printed book, I could put it in the bathroom, and that's where I get most of my reading done. I just finished the Aliens 3, the screenplay, the adapted screenplay for Aliens 3, which is totally different than what we got.
Oh, really?
It was awesome.
Oh.
It follows
Really?
Alien. It's
Was
more in
not
the
awesome.
mood of Aliens.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's worth reading. So
Well,
I see
boys
the
and girls,
time, guys.
we're at an hour, so that's our time.
Before we go, let's remind everybody that starting next week, we're switching Watching Weird from Thursdays at 10 p.m. to Wednesdays at 9 p.m.
Yes, very important.
Yeah.
Yes. We're switching Wednesday to 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes.
6 p.m. Pacific.
Yep.
Pacific.
Do we remember what the topic is for next week movies?
We need Hadley for that.
Okay.
Excuse me. But anyway.
Yeah, I'd have to look. I'll start posting tomorrow what we got.
All right. Appreciate it.
Love this plan.
Yep.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Stay weird.
Take it easy.